bringing me peace, purpose along my way. He's bringing me peace, purpose every day. I don't know where I would be without all he's given me. And I'm so thankful for peace, purpose. Oh, no matter what may come my way, won't let bad vibes ruin my day. 'Cause there's a special friend I know, from where the blessings and the miracles flow. Mistakes in life I wanna erase. He taught me how to handle with grace. No, I'm not ashamed to say he's the reason for the smile on my face. He keeps bringing me peace. He keeps bringing me peace, purpose along my way. He's bringing me peace, purpose every day. I don't know where I would be without all he's given me. And I'm so thankful for peace, and purpose. Oh, no matter what may come my way, won't let bad vibes ruin my day. 'Cause there's a special friend I know, from where the blessings and the miracles flow. Mistakes in life I wanna erase. He taught me how to handle with grace. No, I'm not ashamed to say he's the reason for the smile on my face. He keeps bringing me peace.
Even though there is so much against us, you will see me wearing a face covering.
And even with my face covered,
You will see me
as a son,
as a friend to everyone I meet.
as a fighter for change.
As a woman who stands up for what I believe in,
So join me in wearing a face covering.
to help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
because this is one small act of kindness that has the power to bring us all together.
Good evening. This is Tigner from Rolling Out. Running a special test today. Just want to let everyone know that we have a special 3-day retreat scheduled for tomorrow. Peace and Purpose. If you have not registered, please go out and register at peaceandpurpose.co. There is a 3-day conference that will be worth you for mind, body, and soul. A way to release everything that we've been going through with 2020 and to bring into a new year in 2021. Peace and Purpose. Go and register today at peaceandpurpose.co. Following the next video, there will be a special rebroadcast of Gabrielle Union and Flawless Business. Peace and Purpose.
He keeps bringing me peace, purpose along my way. He's bringing me peace, purpose every day. I don't know where I would be without all he's given me. And I'm so thankful for peace, and purpose. Oh, no matter what may come my way, won't let bad vibes ruin my day. 'Cause there's a special friend I know, from where the blessings and the miracles flow. Mistakes in life I wanna erase. He taught me how to handle with grace. No, I'm not ashamed to say he's the reason for the smile on my face. He keeps bringing me peace.
Entrepreneur, influencer, you got it going on. But, this is that moment. And women, obviously, Gabrielle Union, Flawless, Mented, Honey Pot, you name it. And the idea of you all coming together and inspiring. Rolling Out was created just to support African American, Black, female entrepreneurs. And now we've got a special treat for all of you. And I want them to know it will be a flawless experience of excellence. Female entrepreneurs, great conversation, Larry Carey and all of it coming in with subject matter experts. We love you guys. Thanks for coming to the platform here on Rolling Out. And I look forward to a impeccable, flawless conversation here on Rolling Out. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Munson. So welcome everyone to this Flawless Talks. I am Kayla Walker. I am your moderator for this evening. This is our third edition of Flawless Talks, and this month we're recognizing Women Entrepreneurship Day as well as National Entrepreneurship Month. And we're going to be celebrating not just our entrepreneurs of today, but our business leaders and lending a voice to them, if you will. And I just have to start off by saying thank you to Gabrielle as well as Larry Sims for creating Flawless by Gabrielle Union, which is an affordable and quality hair care collection for us and by us, might I add. And it's creating the space of transparency for us to have this conversation and really a candid talk discussing the issues not only impacting us personally, but also affecting our community. And just to give some of you some background information about Flawless by Gabrielle Union, it was created by the author, the activist Gabrielle Union, and master celebrity stylist Larry Sims. Flawless by Gabrielle Union is for all hair types. It does not matter. It is for you, sis. It's for me, it's for you, it's for us. And I'm truly honored to be here tonight and excited to share this virtual stage with some trendsetters, disruptors, entrepreneurs, and all around bosses. So let's get into this conversation. I'm gonna bring everyone into the room and introduce them. It's virtual. We all on Zoom, so we're gonna figure out how we're gonna roll with it. As I introduce everyone, we're gonna have them come into the room. We have Amanda Johnson, co-founder of Mented Cosmetics. Hi, Amanda.
How are you?
I'm well. Along with Amanda, we have KJ Miller, co-founder also of Mented Cosmetics. Love these ladies. Hi.
Hey, girl. So good to see you. Good to be here.
Good to see you, and you're looking good.
Thank you.
Also have Lauren Mylan, CEO of Digital Undivided. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Kayla.
And then, of course, what's a Flawless Talk without Larry Sims, celebrity highlights, hairstylist, co-founder of Flawless by Gabrielle Union, along with Miss Gabrielle Union herself, actress, producer, and founder of Flawless by Gabrielle Union.
Hi, what's up?
How are you?
Hi, everybody.
That's so good. I love it. Look at us. Look at this. So good. Okay. So excited to be a part of this conversation and be here with everyone. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Flawless is like the word of the hour. So if y'all hear something, you see something, we want you to be a part of the conversation. Tweet some gems, any nuggets that you hear along the way, hashtag Flawless Talks. And so tonight we're talking about the power of Black entrepreneurship. And out the gate, I'd love to hear from everyone and just what inspired you to be an entrepreneur and to be a leader in your industry, which all of you are. And so we can go down the line, not everyone jumping at the same time, but I want to hear from you and what inspired you to be an entrepreneur and a leader in the industry.
I'll kick it.
I'm like, you know what, Larry, we're gonna have you go first because we should let the ladies go first, but it's a room full of ladies. So you go first, Larry. Is that okay? We're gonna give it to the gent this time, ladies.
Okay, cool. First of all, I'm really honored and happy to be amongst so many great, powerful, genius, and beautiful entrepreneurs that just so happen to be Black women. So congratulations to everybody for that. For me, Gabrielle and I talk about it often in my industry and in her industry, just in general. You have to always fight to be better than your counterparts. I'm not talking about my Black counterparts, but I'm talking about people that don't look like us, right? As a Black artist, we don't get the same respect in a lot of ways. We don't get the same opportunities in a lot of ways. And so back early on in my mindset, I always thought about how do I become a stylist in particular that is beyond working in a salon and working behind a chair. You know, I was fortunate enough to come into the industry through the back door by way of me being a dancer professionally for many years. So I was able to see the possibilities of what a hairstylist could do. And although a lot of my counterparts in terms of hairstylists weren't really tapping into those, I did things to make sure that I set myself apart. You know, I did my own photo shoots outside of the talent. You know, I set myself up to look like a boss, you know what I mean? And then people respected me as such. I believe that when you put your best foot forward in that instance, people have to like fall in line and respect your stance. I got my first spokesperson deal working with Victoria Beckham years ago, back when the Bob happened. And that really opened my horizons and set me off in my journey in terms of entrepreneurship. So bleeding into my relationship with Flawless, it was a no-brainer, and it was such an elevated offer that Gabrielle had presented to me so graciously and generously. And, you know, for me to be able to sit in this seat and to be a co-founder with one of my best friends that not only has my heart, but also has the same ethics in terms of business and quality, in terms of products and creating things that are going to be long lasting for our communities is, you know, something to be said. So I'm really proud to be able to sit in this seat and be on this panel tonight with everybody.
I love that. And you mentioned partnership, and so I'm wondering, Gabrielle, would you like to add anything? I'm calling Gabrielle, Gabby, like we best friends, and we know each other for a long time. Gabrielle,
okay, so if we're gonna be BFFs, you gotta call me Gab, hey lady, G, that bitch. What, you know? Yeah. I answered. Don't worry. No, I mean, here with it. to kind of add in with what Larry's talking about. We created the products that we needed. And when I first thought of Flawless, or Flawless was sort of presented to me by folks that did not look like me nor Larry, I do believe the goal was exploitation of our community, taking advantage of a need. And it never sat right. But you get so afraid that these opportunities are going to disappear if you dare speak up or demand that that we are centered and that we lead and not just be Black fronted. And so very quickly I was like, oh, I got to get control of this back, and I want to do it over the right way. And it's not about centering the exploitation of our people. It's about centering the needs of our people and creating quality products that are accessible and affordable. And at the same time, this is what when we started the brand vision, it included this very thing. It's about building community, not about exploiting the community. That's why we started at the very beginning of the relaunch, the Lift as We Climb, conversation that became the Lift as We Climb initiative. If we're going to do it, let's do it right. And then let us expand our platform to include other Black-owned businesses, and hopefully that inspires other Black-owned businesses to keep, to carry on and to sort of pay it forward. But we can't do that when we're not in control of our own businesses, in control of our own narratives, in control of our own mandates. And what the beautiful stuff that can happen when we center Black women in all of it.
Absolutely. Controlling the narrative and really being in the forefront as well as the background of it. And you mentioned products that you need. And of course I have to go to Amanda and KJ, who started Minted Cosmetics, which is literally, again, beauty that is for us and by us. Talk about what inspired you ladies to get into this industry and start a beauty business, because you think beauty and you're like, ooh, it's so crowded. Do I have a space and a voice here? And you ladies came in the door, busting it down with Minted. Talk about your entrance into entrepreneurship. And Amanda, I just want to tell you, you're on mute. So unmute yourself so we can hear everything you say. Boom.
Well, I know Amanda's dying the same way I'm dying right now, because when we started Minted, one of the names we wrote down more often than any other name was Gabrielle Union. Because Gab.
Look at this manifestation.
You always have the perfect nude lip. And Amanda and I couldn't find it and we couldn't create it. I mean, literally, if y'all look at pictures of Gabrielle Union over the years, every photo is a like perfect nude lip. And Amanda and I were like, that's what we want, but we can't find it. We don't know what black magic she's doing, but we cannot find it. And so we created Minted because we wanted beauty that was for us, beauty that worked for us, for our skin tone. But we started with nude lipstick because like literally we looked up, down, high, low, Sephora, Macy's, Dwayne Reed, it doesn't matter. No one was making nude lipstick for us. And I just remember how many times we would be like, yeah, but Gabrielle Union though.
Exactly.
Her nude lip, that's what we were trying to do. So it's just such an honor to be here with you. Thank you for including us. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, and Amanda, of course, chime in, we were trying to solve a problem that we had and that we knew so many women who looked like us had, which was these brands were making money off us, but they were not centering us. They were not celebrating us. They didn't care about us. So they were just expecting us to spend our dollars and, on their brands and make it work, but they weren't trying to make it work for us. Like the work was on us. And we just felt like a brand should exist that celebrates women of color and doesn't treat us like afterthoughts. So that was really the impetus of the brand.
Yeah. And it's to your point, Gab, that you were saying earlier, my mind is blown right now, about community. It wasn't just that there weren't products for us. It's also that there wasn't content for us. Like you could walk into a beauty store in 2016 and none of the associates knew what to do with you. They would, fiddle around with a bunch of products, but at the end of the day, you would end up with a bunch of stuff you weren't happy with. And then you would go home and complain to all your girlfriends. And we were just like, why is our dollar not good enough to get the same service as everybody else? We need brands that center us and our needs. And I remember the vision boards that have Gabrielle Union on them, yes. The investor decks where we pitched, this is the look we're going after. Why is it that just celebrities get to have it, but the everyday woman doesn't? And so we really just have been so inspired by how you have celebrated your natural beauty over your career. And we just want that for everybody else. Everybody should get to tell their beauty story on their own terms, and they shouldn't have to look like anybody else to do it. So thank you.
I love that.
Wait, I gotta just full disclosure. The professional makeup artists would use 8 different things to get the nude lip. And so when I would be on the red carpet, I could never carry a clutch because they were like, now you only use this on the corner. Now this, you just one swipe. Now this is just in the middle. Don't put it anywhere else. And it was a whole thing to get the nude lip because it did not exist.
You're like, why is it this hard? It should not be this hard.
Exactly.
Enter Minted. I love it.
Minted.
Such a great story. And so, Lauren, you are the CEO of Digital Undivided, but you have long time been an entrepreneur. Since you were a teenager, you've been in this entrepreneurship game and you've been in so many industries. Talk about simply being an entrepreneur and what inspires you to stay in this lane.
So first, I need this nude lip too, because it is a struggle, okay? It is a real struggle. And even looking right now, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not liking my lip color. It's a little too dark with my dark hair. I kind of want to smudge some off right now, but anyway.
You look flawless, Lauren. You look flawless.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. This takes me back, Gab's comment, takes me back to my modeling days when it was like I was using Dermablend for concealer. Okay, there was no colors. If you look at old pictures, even of Naomi Campbell back in the day, it looked like you had baby powder on your face. Myself included. And I was always bringing my own products or a little black opal, a little this, a little that, anything that was just your color and mixing it. And so I think we've come so far, and it's really wonderful to see how far entrepreneurship has brought brands and businesses that mean something to women of color. For me, I started my first business when I was 19. I started a vineyard that I turned into an award-winning, internationally recognized winery that made me the youngest self-made winery owner in the country. Yes, girl, let's have a cocktail. Let's have some good wine. And I sold the business when I was 26. And it's interesting because the question or the topic, better yet, of entrepreneurship is one that I have seen evolve in so many ways. And it's interesting because I have, friends and colleagues that started their businesses with me 16 plus years ago, and we did so well and our exits were so celebrated. And then you get into the world of the billion-dollar unicorn and you start sometimes questioning even your own success or the validation of your own business. And then, there's the correction, as they call it, in the market, where you start saying, oh, okay, the billion-dollar unicorn, it's like the world I come from, you don't have billion-dollar businesses that lose money every year. Like that just doesn't exist. The P&L is real. And so it's been an interesting evolution into the world of tech, into, digitization. Myself, when I sold my first business, I started angel investing in technology startups, most of which were led by women, and all of which have done incredibly well. And it's been an interesting sea change. And then I started the marketing company that I still have today, the LMB Group, where I'm advising Fortune 100 CEOs on brand strategy, brand innovation, storytelling, humanizing their brands, connecting better with their consumer, curating meaningful longer-term connections. In performance marketing, and you're up against algorithms and pixels and all these other things. And then I started an early stage venture firm, and then I wrote a best-selling business book for women, and then I had a TV show all about entrepreneurship on NBC. So it has been quite the ride, and coming to Digital Undivided as CEO has been quite the honor. For anyone who doesn't already know, I was chair of the board prior, and so Digital Undivided is an organization that I found early on in 2011 when it was just a conference. We started as the Focus 100 conference. I met the founder of the organization then, Catherine Finney. I was a speaker. I judged the pitch competition, and I mentored and advised Catherine as founder, and then the organization as a whole in the last couple of years, joined the board of directors and was chairing the board, and then was unanimously appointed to serve as our CEO over in May, not even over the summer. And I started on the 1st of June, right? So I inherited this incredible organization, and we are a nonprofit. So we call ourselves a social startup because I think we grapple with some of the same startup entrepreneurial issues, which is that, as a nonprofit, we want to be taken as seriously as a for-profit business. But just the nonprofit model happens to work better for the social impact that we want to have. So we call ourselves a social startup, but we are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we exist to catalyze the genius of Black and Latinx women in spaces of innovation and entrepreneurship, and to create the systems change that we know needs to exist for every woman to be able to own their work. And I always add on to that part of our mission statement of creating a world where all women own their work. And for me, it's so that all women own their worth. And there is no other way that we can own our worth unless we own our work, we own our paychecks, we own our legacy, our wealth, what we can leave behind for our families. And in the meantime, let's make better stories. Let's correct storylines that don't work for us. Let's open doors. Let's lift as we climb. Let's shatter ceilings. Let's do whatever we got to do to get there. And I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled that we have more women of color that are able to do it, because when I started, there weren't many that were able to do it. So that's also a sea change. So thank you, Gab, and thank you, Larry, and thank you, Forces, for coming together to be able to have these kinds of conversations and make these kind of waves together.
Yeah, for sure. I'm loving the range of entrepreneurship and everything that you've done, Lauren. And I want to hear some more about Lift As We Climb from Larry and Gabrielle, and really, not just starting this initiative, but getting a company like Amazon to be behind it and to also support it. Talk about that and how you had this concept and you also got a brand like Amazon on board to be a part of it.
Yeah, we just didn't position it as an option. This was a part of our business, and when we're creating, the deal structure, it just was a part of it. And there was zero pushback. We chose brands that were already on the being sold on Amazon. And really, everyone's like, well, what's the criteria? How do I get on? And I was like, we just did a little research about the people behind the brand, and we were attracted to, these entrepreneurs, these stories. So some of the companies are wildly successful. Some are more at the beginning of their journey, but all super deserving. And it's really about sharing your platform, sharing resources, and hopefully building opportunities as we all are coming up. And then in turn, inspiring other Black owned businesses to do the same. It's pretty basic, but like the reaction is like, what? And it's like, We want us all to win. Is that like, why is that radical? That's crazy to me. So, but yeah, and then we've also partnered with the Black Women's Health Initiative, which is the Imperative, which is the only Black run Black nonprofit specifically targeting Black women's health, because we are always disproportionately impacted by most things. But as we can see during COVID, Black women Black and brown women are disproportionately affected by all things COVID, as well as we are looking at almost 50% of Black-owned businesses, going away during COVID. So if we are able to shine more light, drive more revenue, drive more business, being able to recycle the Black dollar within our own communities, if we can be a part of more generational wealth, more opportunities, we are actually assholes if we don't at least try. You're actually a bad person. If you know that it can be done and you can see that people are doing it, what is stopping you from at least giving it the old college try?
Absolutely. And I think what's great and what you all are doing with Lift as We Climb is you obviously have such a great platform in and of itself. And you're like, Gabrielle Union, right? But lending your voice to others and giving them the platform to showcase their business. I know that KJ and Amanda are a part of the Lift as We Climb initiative, because you have this niche sort of market, if you will, right? Because it is cosmetics that is for women of color. But talk about being a part of this national distribution platform, because so many female entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of color are selling out of their home or, in random places, small boutiques. But you ladies are a part of this large platform with Amazon as well as in Macy's and across the board. But talk about gaining that distribution and that notoriety, if you will, and getting in those places. Because so many want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it was a dream come true to get that email and say that in any way, shape, or form, Minted was going to be a part of this, and Gabrielle Union's name and our name would be anywhere together. That was exciting and a dream come true, and our customers have loved being on this journey with us, but also seeing how we are climbing and the partnerships that we get to do as we do it. And with really all of our distribution channels, whether it's Amazon or Macy's or HSN or Target, we just always wanted to be where our customer is. We want to be accessible. We want to be thoughtful. However she likes it, whenever she likes it, that's where Minted is supposed to be. And if we can do that for our customer, if we can be the solid, very grounded brand that's always there for her, then she can trust us and she will go on this journey with us. And I think that's what we continue to tell other founders as we're on this journey, is really build that authenticity and that trust with your consumer base. Let them know you will always be there for them and you will always let them in on what's going on. And we have been rewarded with that as our customers stay with us on this ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that, like we're in Target now, we're on Amazon now, and that's amazing. But when we launched, Amanda and I were selling at, every trade show, every brunch. I remember there was some brunch in Jersey called Sassy Ladies Brunch, and they were accepting vendors. And me and Amanda rolled our duffel bags of lipstick, put up a little step and repeat because we thought we were cute, and sold lipsticks at the brunch. And that was our every weekend, because those were the people who were willing to take us. Like when Target wasn't taking our call, Sassy Ladies Brunch was, okay? And there were about 150 Black women at that brunch buying lipstick, and we were not too good for any of it. So, we've been on this journey for several years now, and it's amazing to see some, the hard work paying off. But we were at the boutiques, we were selling out of duffel bags, we did it all.
It's been amazing to see Minted grow and how far you have come from just the nude lipstick, because there's a range of products that are part of the line now. But talk about the signs that you saw that your brand was ready to go to that next stage, right? Like you're no longer obviously rolling the duffel bags, the brunches, but now you are securing retail partnerships. What were the signs that you saw to know that, okay, we got to take it to the next level?
Well, one thing is we realized people were searching for us at these locations. So like we saw our search traffic on Amazon.com, something like 80,000, searches on a monthly basis for Minted. And we're like, oh, that's money we're losing. Because when she's searching Minted and we're not popping up, then some other lipstick is getting sold. So, and we noticed also because we survey our customers pretty regularly, and they would say like regularly, like, why aren't you at Target? Why aren't you at Macy's? Why aren't you at Sephora? Why aren't you? So we knew that people were looking for us, and that was sort of our cue, like, okay, now it makes sense. We've done a good enough job building the brand that now people are looking for the brand in different places. So that's when we felt like operationally it started to make sense. One thing we didn't want to do, and we've watched brands do this, unfortunately, is go into retail really quickly, which I think you can do when you're Gabrielle Union, right? Because you've got name recognition, you've got brand recognition. But if you go in before you've got that, it can be so hard. And these retailers will kick you out like that. They don't care. Okay. And so sometimes these retailers will bring you in because they want the credit for bringing in a Black owned brand, but then they'll slide you right on out. And we've watched that happen to so many brands, and we didn't want that to happen to us. So we really took our time and waited until we felt like we had enough brand recognition in the market to start going into some of these retailers.
Awesome. And Lauren, I know you've obviously built this career providing counsel to and mentorship to Black and Latinx entrepreneurs. What's the best advice you offer to entrepreneurs who are not only looking to manage their time, but looking to just be successful in this business that is quick to, help you fail more than it is to help you succeed?
I think that always depends. It's funny because as much advice and counsel and strategy as I do and help brands make millions and billions of dollars for my entire career, this is always like that loaded question at a conference because it is so case by case, right? So I listened to the story of Minted and what KJ's saying, and it takes me back to the early days of my own business, of my vineyard winery, when I was the one, taking cases of wine from the back of my truck, putting up the banner at like the state fairs, selling wine in little tasting cups, and then like making sure that nobody was pouring too healthy of a taste, right? Like, don't pour a glass, a taste is a taste and it's not a glass, right? And then you try to sell this bottle. And you try to sell more than one bottle because you don't even want to go home with the corrugated boxes. All of this said, listening to KJ, what you did was right. What you did was get to know your customer. And what you did was create brand loyalty and demand in the most organic, sincere way from people who had seen you, met you, interacted with you. So if they went to Target and the shelf was empty, they didn't pick up another lipstick. They probably said, let me know when it's back in, or I'll come back next week, right? These are things that are really hard to do in the digital realm right now, creating that kind of demand, let alone loyalty. Like, you can create the demand. That's what performance marketing is. But creating the loyalty to repurchase or standing out right now in the midst of conscious consumerism, where there are other brands that are popping up trying to kind of check the same boxes that other brands are checking. So for me, it is always case by case for sure, but it is most important that you really have a deep understanding of where your business is going and more than one possible outcome for a few things. Who your customer is in terms of customer avatar, what your marketing plan and strategy is with lots of dollars, with no dollars, and kind of right in the middle, right? And also that you have a really good idea of how to continue to reach your customer and who they are so that you speak their language. And those things take time. A lot of the times we think our customer is one person and they're someone completely different. Like, I launched a whole digital program at straightupandsuccessful.com over quarantine. Well, I'd had it anyway, but then I launched a personal branding boot camp in quarantine specifically for all these women who kept coming to me in social saying, I need help with my personal brand. And so I'm thinking, I'm serving people. I got some messages from men and women who showed up, women of color, right? So we have to really have real life interactions, and we have to be able to hear and listen. And I think that what's been good about COVID and fortunate for entrepreneurs during COVID is that people are sitting at home and you're not really pulling teeth the way you used to for feedback, right? Because people are there and they want to tell you how they feel, what they like, what they don't dislike, what they do dislike. And you used to have to pay a lot of money for that. You used to take a really long time to get those insights, because that's what they are, they're insights. And so I think the best advice is making sure that you are pooling insights that are applicable to your business now and the future that you want to have for your business, and that you listen to them and know how to activate them and operationalize them within your business. I think that looks different for everyone, but that's the secret sauce.
It sounds like being ready for all the different things that can come at you and being able to handle them all, which leads me to Gabrielle and Larry. Speaking of managing it all, you both have multiple business ventures. How are you able to flawlessly execute what you're doing with Flawless by Gabrielle Union, but still be a part, maintain your other businesses, right? Because you're wearing multiple hats at one time. So how are you able to manage your multiple business ventures while also doing what you do and making it look flawless?
Well, for me, it's interesting because, you know, Gabrielle is not only my muse, but she also is somebody that inspires the hell out of me. She has a gazillion jobs, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you guys haven't noticed.
Right, just in case.
She has a billion jobs, and she also is a mother and a wife, you know, and I'm a single guy over here with 2 dogs. So, you know, if I could do a fraction of what she does to accomplish.
If I could have the same 24 hours that Gabrielle Union has, how does she do it, right?
Exactly. But it really does take a village. In my own little bubble of all of the things that I have going on, you know, I have manager, I have attorney, I have PR, I got agent, you know what I mean? There's so many things that help me with pushing through my day and organizing my life. And, you know, one thing that I would say is that you have to make sure that you prioritize. You have to make sure that you take time for yourself. Because if you don't take time for yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, then everything else falls apart around you. And you have to get your rest. You have to, you know, eat properly. You have to drink your water. You have to exercise. And then you have to also have those people tapping on your shoulders to remind you where you need to be, you know, in terms of being focused. And you just have to like commit to it and be passionate about. That's one thing that I can say about myself with everything that I have going on. I'm passionate about each and every single thing that I have going on, and I want to see them all successfully win. You know, in the same way. You know, it's I've been in a place where I've taken on things that, you know, I really haven't been that passionate about, and they fall into the wayside, and they were a total waste of time. So, you know, as many things as you have going on, you have to make sure that you're prioritizing and that you're passionate.
I just want to say one quick thing. Larry, you touched on one of the secrets. So kind of, I'll add on to my answer for Kayla's last question, which is one of the secrets, right? One of the things that I do always suggest that Black and Latinx entrepreneurs do is have more than one job, right? That's what we know how to do really well, is like have more than one job, have more. If your business needs more than one revenue stream, you individually need more than one revenue stream too, right? That is part of the secret sauce. And we learn a lot along the way from those other experiences that we can apply to the thing that we really want to succeed the most.
I love that.
I'm using that, and I'll be like, a wise woman once said, if your business requires more, no, that was.
I call you Gab. Just give me a little credit there. We good.
No, I was like, okay. But you, like, as Larry's talking about, like the team that you assemble, that whether that's your attorney, whether that's your manufacturer, your distributor, or chemists, everyone needs to be in alignment and on the same page. And it's a conversation that's obviously happening right now, but the whole meeting in the middle with people whose morals and values are at the opposite, in the opposite direction of yours, it doesn't work. You cannot create good business out of toxicity. You just can't. It can be temporary gains, but a lifetime of soul regret. And so, like, I too do vision boards, and you know, a number of things, and a number of rituals involving crystals and full moons and things like that, prayer and whatnot. But one of the things I learned quickly is I would put like cut out pictures of stuff. Those first vision boards was like a gang of stuff, and I started getting the stuff hand over fist within the first month. And I was like, well, shit, I sold myself short. And then the next year, because we always do vision boarding on New Year's Eve, the afternoon before New Year's Eve as a family. And so every year I started adding more words, more pictures of kind of like limitlessness, if that's a thing. And I stopped putting a cap on the possibility, right? And then all this stuff started coming, hence why I was juggling 117 jobs. And then I took a job that damn near destroyed me and brought me to my knees. And I was like, okay, I have to stop asking, like leaving up to sky's the limit. Let me add this caveat. I don't want any person, opportunity, experience that is going to take me away from my grace, my joy, and my peace. And that allows me to take on jobs that I truly love, I truly am passionate about, that don't disrupt my peace consistently. I'm working with people who are in alignment with the morals and the values. And then the team, we all have to have a similar work ethic. We have to use that same clock, that the same 24 hours of the day. I don't care how you use those hours, but they need to be used at a similar rate and speed. If I'm working my tail off, going from set to the office, to home, to the bedroom, to the lab, we all got to be working just as hard. And then we have to show that gratitude. And that comes by way of, to me, publicly acknowledging all of the hard work, naming the people who have worked their tail off, sacrificed. I'm trying to learn, from business people that I'm inspired by. Just today, while we were in hair and makeup, for a show with Taraji that she created to talk about mental health, we were listening to a Brené Brown podcast. It's like today, it was a new today, and she had Dolly Parton on. And I don't know if y'all missed it basically yesterday, but last night Miss Dolly set social media ablaze. And it's like, well, we were thinking about this new and improved edge control, which is very important, but it's our next drop. We're like, oh, about to kill him with this edge control. Miss Dolly dropped a vaccine, and I was like, WWDD, what would Dolly do? And how can we reimagine what success looks like? When they said Miss Dolly has made billions, but isn't a billionaire because she keeps giving things away. And I was like, oh, she gives so much away. And what she does is she shifts the culture and she creates opportunities to save us from ourselves. And I was like, that's where it's at. And now I can't unhear it. And I have new goals. I want to be like Dolly. I mean, I also want to keep your edges laid and amazing, but I want to figure out ways to contribute to the culture where we're shifting the culture in the most positive way, create community, and give the vaccine, whether that's the vaccine for COVID, but like that elixir for what ails us as a peoples. I want to be a part of that.
And I think you are doing just that with Lift as We Climb. So kudos to you for starting that initiative and bringing so many other entrepreneurs on board, and again, making sure that their voices are heard. Ladies, final question from you is, Gabrielle just gave us this really amazing insight on how we can inspire, if you will, the next generation of entrepreneurs, and even within ourselves, how we can inspire to move forward as Black entrepreneurs in the future. How about yourselves? How do you inspire others to not just be entrepreneurs, but to build that intergenerational wealth and to keep the dollar within our community?
I'll kick off. I want to first also say, Gab, that's powerful. And I think before I answer the closing question, what I've observed in the field of entrepreneurship for our people, and that just means people of color, so Black, Latinx, all things of color, is that we often go where we're comfortable. And that's okay, because it's what we know, and it's like the problems that we intimately have personal experience with that we know we can solve, we want to solve. But what you just touched on, Gab, is going in places where we are not seen, not accepted, and not expected to excel. And those are the places that are hardest to venture into, because while this space is awesome, this is also the space that the culture has allowed us to be awesome in, right? Hair, beauty, media, fashion, lifestyle. But now we start talking about venture capital, private equity, vaccines, like other areas where we aren't seen or expected to be the experts, or even if we don't want to be the expert, we're not expected or seen to be resourceful enough to hire and identify the experts, or first identify them and then hire them, of course. Those are the things that are the next level goals for me as well, right? And so I think when we speak, and Kayla, I'm sorry, remind me of the closing question again.
Talking about how you can inspire future generation female entrepreneurs to create intergenerational wealth.
Yeah, for me, that comes through diversification. And part of that diversification is continuing to, I make a lot of different investments. I invest in startups, I have a day job, I have a public speaking career, I've got brand deals, I invest in art, predominantly from incredible artists of color who are doing incredible things. And I want to shift the narrative as well around collecting art, right? And where we can actually derive real value and how we can create that generational wealth. And then there's this other bucket, which is like a third of what I want to do, which are venturing and continuing to venture even deeper into spaces like VC that I've done before, but where, again, people are like, oh, well, it's almost my whole life. It's been like, well, whose child are you? I mean, I love my parents and all, but that's not how I'm here. Nobody opened this door, gave me this silver spoon. And so I think the more that we can keep kicking down those doors together, that's how we'll create the generational wealth. I want us as a people to get to a place, and this is something I'm doing now with my children. My daughter Chloe is 11. My son Jaden turns 13 in like 3 weeks, which is crazy. But I want them to be in those positions to a certain extent of privilege, right? And not of unwarranted privilege, but privilege of being able to have and seize opportunities that they do want to work for, and that those doors are not shut in their face, and that they can continue to climb and ascend in career and venture into new grounds and help create new records. And so that's what inspires me and what I think is needed for us to be able to create wealth. We need more Black owned sources of capital. And after this last round of politics, I'm super committed to the fact that we need more Black governors. This is how the process is going to work. We need a lot more governors.
Now.
That's going to create that trickle down I'm talking about.
And KJ and Amanda, what about you? What insight do you have for the entrepreneur that is watching this right now who says, hey, I want to launch my business. I want to create intergenerational wealth for my family and for my community. What do you say to her?
Yeah, well, the first thing I think we always say is, if you want to go after it, figure out a way to make it happen. And I like to always say, start small. Like, people come up with really grand ideas and think like they've got to start with the grand idea. We started with one thing, nude lipstick, right? Yeah, if you look at our site now, there are a lot of products there. We started small and we made the nude lipstick in our apartments. So that's the first thing I would say. Find a way to just kick off with like a small portion of your idea. Don't feel bound by the bigness of what your idea might be. That's the first thing. But as I think about sort of like longer term generational and what's next, and I'm so inspired by what you said, Gab, and like thinking beyond the bounds of beauty and sort of like, how do I leave my mark on this generation? And I have just been so inspired by looking at, recent elections, looking at people like Cori Bush, looking at people like AOC, looking at these women who have, already done so much at such a young age and are changing the course of our country bit by bit. So I think about politics and then I get very scared about the idea of it, but something like that feels like, maybe that could be next, right? Like maybe the way that I help change and help inspire is by pulling out, from beauty and thinking about, things on a broader level. I don't know, because then I think it, and then I say like, girl, stick to lipstick, because, but I certainly have thought about it, and I just think one thing I do hope is that I don't feel, and other entrepreneurs don't feel, bound to just do the one thing, even if you're successful at it. Like, even if you're good at it, that doesn't mean that's the one thing you get to do. Obviously, Gabrielle Union, amazing actress. That doesn't mean all she gets to do is act, right? Like, so I think like that inspires me, this idea that you can be good at something and then keep being good at other things. So I'm excited for what's next, and I don't know what it's going to be.
It makes me think of two things. One is, I think knowledge sharing. In order for us as a people to be successful in whatever we do, we can't be afraid to share the things we know, right? That crab in a barrel attitude will not create generational wealth. It will not change the tide in this country. We need to be willing to share our vendor, share the secret sauce. Here's my contact at a retailer. Here's how I did it. Here's the story, and give details and meaningful information. And that's the way other businesses will thrive. What KJ and I had to go through to get this business started, if I could help someone else go faster because they don't have to make the same mistakes, that's my contribution to wealth building. And I think if we can all get more comfortable with, hey, it's not just me that needs to make it, we all need to eat. And what is my part in sharing that knowledge that'll let us all do that? Creating a culture of sharing more about how we become successful, I think is key. And I think the other thing is, as we progress as a community, changing our mindset to not being afraid to fail, right? I think we are a very step-by-step community because we haven't had much, right, historically. And so now we're just, some of us getting to that next level, getting to that next income level, and we're too scared to try the next thing. And I think the thing that I hope for KJ and I is that we continue to strive for more, whatever that is, wherever that is. And we take that courage that started this business into the next thing. And we hopefully can inspire the next generation to feel limitless in that as well. Taking a word from Gab's vision board, if we all can just not be afraid to trip and fall and fail, and then lift each other up, you know, when the inevitable does happen, I think we'll be better for it. Because when I think about, you know, my white male counterparts, frankly, they fail all the time and consistently. That is what they do consistently. And somehow they always get another chance. And I just want a world where I can fail, you know, and get another chance. And I think that's where the generational tide starts to change.
Ooh,
that was good. That was powerful, Amanda.
That's so good. So good.
Can I say one thing really quick?
Lauren, as long as it's quick.
It's going to be quick.
Okay.
So, Amanda, you said about you want the opportunity to fail, which was powerful in the context that it was presented. You have come and spoken with us at Digital Undivided before. And interesting, I brought back some alums recently whose startups failed. And they've gone on to be incredibly successful in the corporate space. And so we actually coined those talks, failing up. And so telling and creating stories of what it is like for women of color to fail up is also something that I've become really passionate about, because we see systemically, historically, that women of color have to create sometimes their own chances, their own risks to prove themselves when no one else will give them that opportunity to fail or even prove themselves to succeed. So that was powerful. And I think we need more stories, though, of women who can also fail up, right? Because sometimes those failures teach us a lot and we can translate them into something else.
I love that. Such a great conversation and so much insight from all of you. And I as someone who sort of sells services, if you will, because I do hosting, producing, I'm thinking about my own next level in entrepreneurship and a product that I can do. And so it's been great to listen to everything that you have added, because I know there's a woman, a man, just across the board, someone who's watching, tuning in, is like, these are the things that I need to hear to step into that next level of entrepreneurship. And I always tell people also, as they're figuring out what they need to do, because I think so often we get crowded by the idea, well, she's already doing that and he's doing that and I don't need to do it. And if you ever think there's an idea or concept that you can't do, I tell people to walk down the bread aisle, because you walk down the bread aisle, it's all different kinds of wheat bread, but you still go to the same bread every single time. But it's a whole aisle full of bread, y'all, and they all different kinds. And so I hope that someone has listened to this conversation, been inspired by what they've heard from you, took some nuggets and gems from this conversation. And before we go, I have to ask Larry, Gabrielle, do you have anything you want to add to the conversation, or just anything that you want to conclude with for this flawless talk?
Sure, I'll let the lady of the hour finish off. But the only thing that I would say is just go after your dreams, be passionate about it, be relentless, be fearless, and don't let the fear of failure, side rail you or derail you from your ultimate goal. And to the point of sharing, definitely share the wealth. There are so many communities that build and grow because they share as a community. We have to get out of the way of ourselves, and we have to be very clear about the fact that we've been given the gift. It's not us for us to hold on to. We have to let it go so that it can continue to grow and so that it can continue to inspire people. So kudos and congratulations to everybody on this panel.
Absolutely. Don't function from a place of fear, and certainly not a fear of scarcity. There is enough for everyone. What was I going to say? It was fear of scarcity. Dang it, I had something good too, but I had a senior moment and it's gone. It's gone, and I grew a chin hair, and there you have it. But yeah, like, just, do your best, give yourself grace. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Give yourself grace, in the same way that we extend grace to other people. We're all human. Give yourself grace, let yourself off the hook. Give yourself time to mourn, whatever, get back to work. But always remember that you are deserving and worthy from birth. You don't need anyone else to tell you anything about your worth and why you are deserving. Choose your damn self and get after it. There ain't nothing to it but the motherfucking do it. And that's really all I have to say.
I love it. Just like that. Just like that. I love it.
Like,
thank you all so much. And for those of you tuning in, make sure that you are checking out Minted Cosmetics, Flawless by Gabrielle Union, Digital Undivided, and just staying in tune to what is happening with their brands across the board. Thank you, ladies and gents. This has been a flawless talk with you. I'm Kayla Walker, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Everybody have a good night. Take care.
I'm coming over for some wine, Larry.
Yes.
He keeps bringing me peace, purpose along my way. He keeps bringing me peace, purpose every day. I don't know where I would be without all he's given me. And I'm so thankful for peace, purpose, purpose. Oh, no matter what may come my way, won't let bad vibes ruin my day. 'Cause there's a special friend I know, from where the blessings and the miracles flow. Mistakes in life I wanna erase. He taught me how to handle with grace. No, I'm not ashamed to say he's the reason for the smile on my face. He keeps bringing me peace and purpose along my way. Iggy's Iggy's bringing me peace, purpose along my way. Iggy's bringing me peace, purpose every day. I don't know where I would be without all he's given me, and I'm so thankful for peace, purpose. Oh, no matter what may come my way, won't let bad vibes ruin my day. 'Cause there's a special friend I know, from where the blessings and the miracles flow. Mistakes in life I wanna erase. He taught me how to handle with grace. No, I'm not ashamed to say he's the reason for the smile on my face. He keeps bringing me peace, the purpose along my way. He keeps
We might root for different teams, but we all respect the game. And we can all root for each other when we wear a mask. Mask up, America.
Of concerts and live theater, going to baseball games, and eating in restaurants, inside. If you love parties and the small talk with the guy who makes you iced coffee the right way, then wear a mask. And let's beat this virus so we can get back to the things we love. Mask up, America.